Hey YouTube, how y'all doing? It's your boy Zame with a new video. Hope y'all doing well. I know it's been about 2 weeks, maybe more, since I've uploaded, but it's not a definite break. I've been just honestly very busy, and I haven't really been playing MK1 at all, so I haven't really had anything to upload on that front. But I think over the past couple of days, Injustice 3 kind of got leaked, not confirmed, obviously, but um, I think two people went to like an event, and they talked to the voice actor Phil Lamar. You guys probably know him. He voices Jon Stewart and like a lot of things for DC, and he also voiced Aquaman in Injustice 2, and the voice actor of Superman in Injustice 2 as well, which his name is Ray George Newburn. This is an article from Comic Book. So I saw this news, and I'll be honest. Obviously, it's not confirmed, but they basically said that Injustice 3 is in the works. Um, and both of them said it, that they're both working on Injustice 3. So it's definitely, I don't know if it's a slip up, but they're not just gonna say that to troll. So I'm guessing it's probably true. And I'll be honest, I think it's probably best for NRS to do Injustice 3. Obviously, I like MK a lot, probably more as most people do. I mean that's what we know NRS for. But honestly, with how MK1 turned out, I think it's actually good to reset and put a new game in there until they can actually work on a fully fledged new MK, because that franchise is not like that franchise honestly deserves so much better. Now when it comes to Injustice, am I a fan of it? I think Injustice does a lot of things right, and I honestly think the biggest problem in Injustice is the gameplay. Like when it comes to a new Injustice, like I'm actually, I'd be excited for it because I like DC characters, but I don't want Injustice gameplay per se. Like you can keep some things in the game, which I'm going to be talking about this video on what I feel like Injustice 1 and Injustice 2 did right, um and what I think should switch or change. But I wouldn't mind a new Injustice. I just would definitely want them to switch up the gameplay, like in a lot of ways. So I'm going to be talking about that. But yeah, I just want to make this video because I'm pretty sure this is going to happen. Like for two voice actors to say they're working on Injustice 3, and we probably all know that NRS's new game isn't coming out until 2027, 2028. Probably 2027. I figure it gets revealed end of next year, maybe at Game Awards again, and it releases May 2027. That's pretty much my prediction of what's happening with the next MK or NRS project. So Injustice 3 fits that timeline perfectly, and then new MK in 2029 or whatever, right? So yeah, I actually think this is pretty much happening. So I want to talk about what I feel like Injustice 2 did right, and what I feel like they can improve on for Injustice 3 if it is happening, which I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure it is. So with that being said, hope y'all doing well as always, and let's get into it. Alright, y'all, let's get into what I think Injustice 2 did right. Bro, I haven't I haven't actually looked at this game in I don't know how long, 2-3 years. I think I got on it like 2 months ago for like 2 matches, and I got off. But I legit haven't like went through this menu or even looked at the game legit like years, bro. But yeah, like I was saying, I think Injustice 2 did a lot of things right, to be honest. The first thing I gotta point out is the customization. Whatever the next NRS project is, whether it's Injustice 3, MK12, MK2, whatever they're calling it, it needs to have good customization, because Injustice 2 definitely has the best customization that NRS games have implemented. Every character in this game had 5 gear slots, you had skin shaders, and you also had like actual premiere skins. So I guess you can kind of, it's similar to MK11. MK11 had basically what Injustice did, but 3 slots instead of 5. And I think MK11 had like less gear or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, no, being able to customize your character, like whatever it was, like in my opinion, customization is always a good thing. Like Tekken, you literally customize your character to be whatever. Which honestly, I wouldn't want customization. In my personal opinion, I wouldn't want customization to be like Tekken, where you can make your character look like whatever. But I do like, because I like to keep the character's identity in a way. But just having all these different gear pieces to add onto your character, like make it, because everyone's character looks different, right? For the most part, like Flash, from what I remember, has like every Flash skin can look way different. Which, like, look at this skin, this skin looks fire to me. And then you had the premiere skins like I mentioned, and then you also had like this shader was fire, like you know what I mean. You also had these shaders they eventually added. You had reverse flash, you had purple flat, like bro, the customization in this game was just fire. So I think this was like the perfect template to follow. And plus, you know, this actually made like the multiverse towers that they did and all those extra side content I guess you want to add in a fighting game, which I think is always a good thing, like the multiverse. That made that actually people want to play it because of the gear. And they eventually added legendary gear, which was like level 20 to level 30, so it basically incentivized people to play the game more than just a base fighting game, which is what honestly MK1 was missing, because MK1 has like no features, bro. Like invasions is like so boring to me, so I can't even, I don't even classify that as an extra game mode. I think I played it once, never again. But yeah, right off the bat I want to talk about the gear system. Other things that Injustice did great in my opinion, or this is probably the best thing about Injustice in my opinion, I guess, when it comes to like the franchise and like the gameplay. Character archetypes are very different in Injustice, which is something I actually love. When you're able to play different characters and they actually feel different, like that shows that, you know, a character's kit was actually looked into, right? So like if you play Batman or Green Lantern or Red Hood, like any of these characters, they all feel different. Playing Black Adam and Grodd are totally different characters. You know what I mean? Playing like, oh, I forgot about the turtles. Yeah, the DLC in this game was kind of fire too. Except for Starfire, kill this character with fire, but the characters just felt different, which, you know, having character archetypes in my opinion is always a good thing. Because I feel like character archetypes just like, it really, I don't know, it just makes the game look more fun to watch in my opinion. That's what like, and there was a lot of character variety in this game. Unlike MK1, and honestly at the end of MK11, where top tiers you saw the same characters like Jackie, Cabal, and MK1, you're seeing Homelander 24/7. You're seeing like the same type of characters repeatedly, right? In top 8, Cyrax, whatever it is. This game had so much like character variety. From what I remember, like you had Batman, you had Firestorm, people were playing the Flash, you had Blue Beetle, you had Sub-Zero players, you had Black Manta players, Silver Eye played Hellboy if you guys remember. You had Catwoman players, you had Superman like this game it had so much, Black Adam players. It had so much variety at like high level. Which when you see character variety like that, like that's just so much fun to watch in my opinion. So that's something Injustice did great, which was character variety. So definitely should keep that. So yeah, those are honestly the two things that stand out to me in this game, like the content slash gear, as well as, you know, the character variety when it came to gameplay definitely stood out to me. And then everything else, like the story modes were actually, I actually enjoyed the story modes. Some people didn't like Injustice 2's, but I actually thought both story modes were pretty fun. So whatever they do for Injustice 3, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And then I'm trying to think of what else. Guilds were a thing. I don't remember what this is. Was this a supply drop system? What is this? Oh yeah, this is like you get extra gear in this, so kind of like a loot box system. Um, so yeah, those are definitely things I liked. Online was good. Obviously, you had, you know, your typical rooms, which are still missing in MK1 by the way. You had your rooms, you had your rank sets. So online was great as well for tournaments. So honestly, nothing I can complain about this game for content, gear. Like this game did everything right. I think that's why it was so fun to play casually. If you're just like, this game was very popular for casuals, right? Like, cause for a good reason too, because you have obviously DC characters and all the content. But yeah, like I mentioned, I do think if they make an Injustice 3, they definitely need to change the gameplay, and I'm gonna talk about why. Um, well, you know, and just remember, it is all my opinion. So for this, I'm gonna pick obviously, you know, my main. If you guys remember, my GOAT Firestorm. Bro, look at the gear though. Like, I'm not even joking. Look how drippy my boy is. Then you had the clothes mask. I think I had on this one. Like, look at this drip. Ah, like bro, the drip in this game was fire. So I'm gonna pick Firestorm, and then I'll pick someone like Superman. Or that's not Superman. That's Bizarro. See what I mean though? Like the skins though. Let me pick. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's pick a stage. Let's pick this stage. This stage was fire. Alright, so now we're loaded in. Now let's talk about the gameplay. What I like about this game, camera, I don't mind. Well, actually, let me not go out by one by one. So right off the bat, let's talk about like how this game worked. Obviously, you had 4 bars, similar to MKX, but you had 1 extra bar. The trait system. Now, the trait system is something I don't mind coming back. I actually like the trait system. Like, it gave every character like a kind of a, a niche variety. This also added on to the character variety, character depth I was talking about. Every character had like a different trait. Now some were definitely broken than others, like Flash, Firestorm, Batman, those type of traits. Like, this is why Firestorm was top 5, because you get hit by this, GG, you're guessing, right? Now, I do want to mention this game is obviously back to block. So, I understand that's why a lot of MK players probably don't like it, because you have to walk back. But I'll be honest, if you play most fighting games, pretty much every fighting game is back to block. So, it's something you just have to get used to if you're playing fighting games. Like, I play Street Fighter, so it's not nothing new to me. But something funny, actually, that I realized when I come back to this game. When I used to play this game, because it was my first like competitive fighting game, and I played it in 2017 or end of 2018, I actually blocked like lows with down, right? Because in this game you just have to hold down to block like lows, and obviously hold back for overheads. But I never played like Street Fighter or anything like that, so I actually held down. But when I started playing Street Fighter and actually grinding that, I started holding down back when I actually revisited this game. So it was kind of like weird to see how I never pressed down back. That's just something I noticed. But yeah, let me so yeah, tray system I definitely think is a cool thing. So if they want to implement that again, I actually wouldn't mind. And I think they should keep that. That kind of makes Injustice like kind of like a differentiate from MK, gives it like its own trait. So no, obviously not not trying to use the word itself, but it gives it its own like, identity, I guess. So I don't mind the trait system. Obviously, Firestorm had the blue stuff, and he gets extra launchers, he gets extra damage, and his Superman had, he had this, which gave him extra damage. It broke armor, made his fireballs way more damaging, so like, made his main string, So it was just like, I like the trade system, I can't lie. So if they bring that back, which I think they should, definitely a must. Now when it comes to the supers, I don't mind the bars in this game. If they want to keep Clash as well, I actually don't mind Clash. The whole health bar system, I don't mind. I think they should keep that. That's kind of what Injustice is. When it comes to the breaker system, I do think they should implement kind of like an MK breaker. And if they're going to keep 4 bars, make the breaker 3 bars. Or all 4 bars, whatever it is. It depends on how fast the meter gains, right? So I don't mind. In this game it had air escapes, if you guys remember. Which was this. So like if somebody could air escape like that. Now though, I actually didn't mind air escape because you actually can bait it. If you knew someone was on the air escape, you can actually bait them. So like if I'm doing a Firestorm BMB, I can cancel it, punish on the landing recovery, and then mix your shit. But like I didn't mind like the air escape because it kind of had a mind game to it. But I feel like there could be a better defensive mechanic implemented, to be honest. But honestly, I didn't mind it that much when I was playing this game. I thought defensive mechanics were fine. Another mechanic they had was this roll. Now this was supposed to be like the answer to zoning, but I'll be honest, I don't think it's a good mechanic. Because to be honest, zoners use this more efficiently than people trying to get in on zoners. Because whenever you try to use this, you would get punished because it's obvious you're trying to go for it. And it's also very reactable for the player who is zoning. So most of the time, like, I'll be honest, this mechanic was used for zoners. Like, let's say Superman is zoning me, I finally get in, he'll land a poke or something, I'm out of there, right? So like, zoners actually use that to their advantage, which was kind of crazy to me. I didn't mind. I mean, no, yeah, I don't think they should have the rollback. If you wanna, honestly, they shouldn't need a mechanic like that because I'll be honest, I'll get to the issues. So yeah, the good things, the traits. What else was good about this game? The game. See, that's the thing. My problem with this game is really the gameplay. Like, it could be so much better than what it is. So that's why like most of my issues were with the gameplay for this game. But yeah, going back to the bar system. Like I said, I don't mind if they keep 4 bars or implement a breaker system along with the clash maybe. And one thing, super bar, super meter. If you want to do your super, costed all 4 bars. You guys see it at the bottom. If they do Injustice 3, MK12, whatever it is, this is kind of like a wish list for Injustice 3, but also whatever the next NRS project is. Do not bring back Fatal Blow. Nobody on this planet likes Fatal Blow. Bro, I don't care what year we're in, how good the supers look. Do not add Fatal Blow to the game. Giving a player a 30% super 35% super or a kill button because they were losing in the match is not a good mechanic choice. It's not a good design choice. So I don't care how many, like, but I feel like they're gonna do it anyways because they just want people to see the supers. But to be honest, most people get tired of the supers like 2 months in, 1 month in maybe. So just don't add Fatal Blow, bro. Keep it like how it was in MKX, how it was in Injustice 2. If you want to spend your super, whatever you know the super is in the game, the cinematic is, make it require all like make it require meter, like all 4 of your bars, all 3 of your bars, whatever it is. It's literally an armored move that's reactable to anything and just like, oh, Fatal Blow, so dumb. But yeah, so that's I guess the first thing to make Injustice 3 like gameplay better. The second thing is probably a core thing of mine is the movement. I feel like Injustice 2 movement is very like stiff. They're trying to be like Street Fighter, obviously, with like the the walking. You walk, you dash, you gotta commit to dashes, you can't cancel your buns. If they kept this, I don't know how I'd feel. I just want the movement to be a bit faster. Not like crazy, like, like never add a run button again. MKX run button is like cool for its time, but I just don't think it's a good gameplay mechanic in my opinion. But like, honestly, they should implement dash, dash canceling in a way. Obviously, it's a down and block game, so dash blocking works kind of weird. If you're just able to cancel your dashes and the buttons, I just feel like it makes like combo routes way more enjoyable to watch. It makes neutral way more fun to watch, and it just gives you more freedom on your character. So if they wanted to implement dash canceling, I actually would prefer that. But if they want to stick to like the core Injustice movement to where it's just walking and dashing to keep its identity, then it makes sense, because it does. I'll be honest, it does give the game more of a neutral-esque type of playstyle, but I don't know, sometimes the game just feels too slow. But that's also because of another main issue, aside from movement, which is the stage sizes. The stage sizes in this game are not okay. If I go from left state, like you guys see how many dashes it takes to go to this side. If I go from right to left in this game, bro, just like just look how long it takes to go from right to left, or just to clear a stage on this game. The stage sizes are not okay. I'm not even mid stage yet. Okay, now I am, and now we're entering the left side of the stage. And because of how big the stages were in this game, this is what led to, the zoning issue that this game, aside from character designs like Deadshot and Starfire and how they were Dr. Fate, this is kind of what led to the main zoning issue, is that the stages were so long, so characters like Deadshot, whoever was zoning you, can literally walk back for as long as they want. Like, look how far we are. This is actually insane how far this distance is. That's why characters like that could just zone you out, right? So stage size definitely to be a bit similar to MK1 in my opinion. Movement maybe can get a little touch up. A mechanic I think that should be removed, to be honest, is back threes. Armored back threes, if you guys don't know, are armored launchers. They cost 1 bar to do, and they are plus on block. So it's a 1 bar armored launcher that you can do anytime. And from how it worked, so back threes were always pretty much mids, and forward threes were overheads. If you guys remember, some forward threes were more broken, like Cheetah's forward three was a double hitting overhead. Firestorm's back three was actually broken because you can do an extended version, so he can hit you from literally across the map. Like, look, this is an armor launcher, by the way, so you're getting hit from here, from an armored move, right? So, and the reason I also didn't like back threes is it made combos kind of lame, right? So every character kind of did like one string, launcher, back three, BMB. So it made combos have like the same pattern, which kind of not ruined the combo creativity, but it made it like more generic for most characters. So like Superman, same thing. Freeze, back three, launcher, full combo, right? Firestorm, back three. So there's more characters that can do, like Batman probably does the same thing. Up batarang, forward three. What other characters? Sub-Zero does the same thing. There's so many characters follow the same game plan of just like button, launcher, back three, right? So kind of made the combo creativity a bit generic and a bit like less detailed in my opinion, and also just having the armor launcher for 1 bar was kind of goofy in my opinion. So back three I think should actually be gone. If you want to keep it, I guess make it 2 bars or make it cost more than 1 bar, but I just think it's one of those mechanics that can go, right? It doesn't have to stay. And then aside from that, I forgot the biggest problem in this game, probably aside from like the zoning and state sizes. Interactables, brother. These need to honestly just don't come back. You can have an Injustice without Interactables. It's completely fine. Or if you are gonna, if you have to add Interactables because it keeps that Injustice type of character, just make them how they were in MK11 to where they're balanced. But Interactables in this game, like this one isn't that bad now. But if you guys remember when this game came out, these were all unblockable. So if he threw this at you, unblockable, unblockable. So those two were unblockable, and depending on the character you were in this game, I forgot to mention, there's gadget characters, and I think there's power characters. Depending on the character you are, you use the interactable differently. So like characters like Firestorm who are gadget characters can actually jump off of interactables like that. And that was also an unblockable when the game came out. Just want to mention that. And characters like Superman can't do that. They can just throw it, right? So you see the difference in that. Like it's a and then if you guys remember the dive kick interactable, that was insanely broken. So yeah, interactables as a whole are just kind of brain dead. I don't think they should be added back, but if they are added back, just balance them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, like I mentioned, the most of my issues with Injustice are definitely the gameplay because of how slow it is and how non-interactive the gameplay was. So I think things to do make that gameplay aspect better, definitely smaller stages similar to MK1, MK11s. Maybe add dash canceling. I love dash canceling in general, so maybe implement that. I don't mind back to block at all. I'm not one of those people. Back to block is fine with me. I think the air dashes are fine. Anti-airs in this game were pretty good for most characters, but definitely better anti-airs for most of the cast. Jump-ins in this game are also broken, so another NRS game with anti-air issues. And I don't think up block from MK1 should come back. I'm going to be completely honest. I just think anti-air, like there should be DPs or something in MK. Like just add DPs or something. If somebody jumps at me and I do a DP, it should be invincible. Like I don't know why NRS hasn't solved the anti-air issue still to this day. But yeah. So those are kind of what I think about Injustice 3. If they made one, I'd definitely be excited for it because I do love DC characters. And I also think, honestly, from a competitive standpoint, a DC fighting game would definitely get way more like opportunities for like competitive players when it comes to crowdfunding, tournaments, popularity, whatever it is. Like, because you're able to show the game off more because it doesn't have that gore factor. I know people love the gore for MK, but you know, it demonetizes everything. People don't show it because how gruesome it is. So like, the DC fighting game would definitely just have way more eyes on it, which would be a great thing for competitive and just the game in general. But yeah, aside from those points, yeah, the trace system, like I mentioned, is great. Character depth is great. It's just you gotta touch up on a few things, like stage sizes, back three, in my opinion. What else did I say? Interactables. So like and you see like these changes like would be great for the game, in my opinion. And they're not even like they're just making Injustice a better game. So I definitely think Injustice 3, if they made one and followed like some of these changes, could be a great game. I don't think we're gonna get a new announcement, or I don't think we're gonna get an announcement of whatever the next NRS game is until probably like end of 2026, to be honest, and then probably a release in 2027. But you know, we did get the news that Injustice 3 is coming out, so I just want to share my opinion on it. But hope you guys are doing well as always. Appreciate y'all for watching the video. If you made it this far, y'all have a great day. Stay safe, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all, man. Take it easy, please.